All right. Yeah, I'll go live here just shortly on my side. How many guys we got here tonight? You mind sharing your iRacing screen? And if it gets too hard on your CPU or whatever, you can always just exit out. But cool. Looks like I got control. Like it. Yeah, after Heat 1, I'll have my YouTube up so I can make sure the sound audio is all good. But yeah, I do like the cars just a slight loud, I don't know. We'll figure it. I'm sure you got it pretty good already. Yeah, just make sure my voice is going over the iRacing bar. But you can't have the cars too low because then that takes away from the excitement, and it's a juggle, man. It's a juggle. I am kind of curious though, if I surely not, right? Like if I move, holy crap, dude. Control F12 controls yours too, but I think it just pulls it up. I don't know if it actually. Yeah, it doesn't actually control it. Like this camera 4. Pretty good shot. SDK has oh yeah, make sure you put that new stream key in. I forgot about that. I haven't even checked. I should probably do that. Can you mute my mic? Like mute all sound for a sec. Mic check, 1, 2, mic check. And welcome to Wiscoville_TV. My name is Jake, alongside a producer here tonight, helping me out, last minute crunch, trying to get everything set up. I believe we got everything set up. That's going to be Joey. Much appreciated to that guy as he brings in all the live streams onto everyone's phones and tablets and screens and TVs and all. Qualifying what is underway, a 3-minute qualifying session, a completely packed house here tonight. $600, a little bit over a $600 total purse in this 2 nights of racing here at Eldora Speedway for the National Auto Racing Association. Key sponsors here tonight, up there in your top right-hand corner, Smokey Mountain Beard. Much appreciated those guys. Valley Park Retirement Center. And then, as always, week in and week out, School of Sim Racing and Personal Evolution Company. Qualifying way underway, already halfway over. Zach has it. Jake Sonentag P2. Bruce Klingen, he rounds out the top 3 spots. Jeff is going to be 4th, and Brandon Garman rounding out the top 5. Garman putting in a quick lap time, a very fast lap time. There it is. Garman at 13.2. Jeff P4, 13.1, but the guy that's on top of the charts right now is the number 18 machine, Zach, a 13.130. Everyone in the point ones all the way up into the top 4, 5th place on back. Well, they slowly start to fall off. Entry list here tonight, complete packed house, like I said. 26 cars here for the 360s. 360 sprint cars here at Eldora Speedway. Hold on to it. Should be a fun one. We'll try to work through all these kinks. Hopefully everything looks good for you guys. A lot of stuff going on tonight for these 2 nights of racing. Night number 1 is going to look a little bit like this. If I can find it. 10-lap heat races. 4-car invert. Top 4 transfers to the feature. Top 2 will run the dash to determine the first rows of the feature. Then the concept will be a fill-out 24-car feature. Feature tonight is 35 laps. That's going to be the scheduled distance. There in the Mac Daddy Show on heat race number 1. Already starting to get pulled up. You got to do good here. If you want a shot at night number 2, to grab that big money win. It all starts right here in these heat races. The starting grid is going to look a little something like this. A guy that's going to be on top of the charts with the good old Glenn's Hot Wings. They're the number 65 machine. That's going to be Paul. Joe there to the outside, driver out of New Jersey. Brandon Garman, SSR Elite Sim Racing driver, the number 9 machine. He'll start up in P3. Zach, that's the guy that set the quick lap time, but remember, 4-car invert for these heat races. Brent Hagan, he rounds out the 5th spot. Patrick Spangler, he's in this one with SSR. Then Mr. Hungerbuster Kell. A lot of SSR guys in this thing. We got 3 School of Sim Racing drivers. We'll see how everything pans out here. stacked up, packed up, getting ready to rock and roll for 2 nights of racing here at Eldora Speedway. Paul and Joe, that's going to be your front row. Lights on the pace truck is off. As they slowly crawl down the back chute. Got a lot of information to cover here tonight as well. But we'll continue that right after this. Pace truck's in. Green flag is going to drop. Paul's going to stand down there on the skinny pedal, and we're racing for the first laps. Paul going to lead lap number 1. Joe's going to hold. He's going to tuck right there. Second place all over the back bumper of the race leader. Paul looks down to the bottom side, sliding on up. Joe swapping for the race lead on lap number 2. Joe's on the outside of the front row. He grabbed that lead. Now Zach, the pole sitter. He's back there in the 3rd spot. He's trying to work the bottom side of the number 65 machine, side by side down the front straightaway. Wheeling in and dealing back down in turns 1 and 2. A little swip swap move from Paul and Zach. 4th spot. That's going to be Brandon Garman. He is on the hot seat right now with a pretty good hot looking paint scheme on that 360 sprint car. Almost will touch with the 18 machine of Zach. So far, so good for the race leader of Joe there, number 43 car. Got to pull a pretty good gap on the race field, so the race is on for the 2nd and 3rd spot. But really, all eyes are right here on this last and final transfer spot as Brent Hagan just slides it right up in front of Patrick Spengler. Outside shot of the race field now. Hunger Buster Kell outside looking in. 2 laps to go around Eldora now. Best lap time out there on the speedway is going to look like this. Joe a 13.2. That's your fastest lap time right now. Zach slowly closing up on it, which is 2 laps to go now. Down the back chute, back down turns number 3. The track is still quite tacky out there. A little bit of slick down there on the bottom side, but everyone kind of running that high groove here at Eldora. Down the back stretch for the final time and into turns 3 and 4. Nothing's going to happen. Joe's going to win this thing. Zach's going to come home P2. Brandon Garman 3rd, then Brent Hagan rounding out that last and final transfer spot there in the number 93 or in that number 95 machine. So not too much action there in heat race number 1. Little bit of pass. Got a pretty good pass for the race lead there. Everything else, track quite tacky out there. I would say qualifying is going to come in handy, but the first 4 cars inverted. It's going to be pretty tough regardless. There's going to be the final results there for heat race number 1. Joe, Zach, Brandon, and Brent Hagan. That's going to be your guys that will be going to the Mac Daddy show here for night number 1. Heat race number 2 as these guys start getting lined up. I have to check all the volume audios. Looks like everything is good. We got this thing set up kind of last minute. Thanks to Joey. Kind of a lifesaver. It all worked out though, kind of at the end here. Ted York, another Glenn's Hot Wing driver, the number 09 there on the top spot with the frozen land up there in Canada of Mr. Tim Alton. Chad Craig, number 27 car. He'll be starting there in P3. Jake Sonatag, he'll be starting there in the P4 spot. Josh Brokowski, the number 32 car. Glenn's Hot Wings. Patrick L. Boyce. And then Greg rounding out the last and final spot out of the Hoosier State of Indiana, the number 35 machine. And Greg's going to have a little bit of work to do if he wants to get into that last and final transfer spot. It's going to be the exact same format. Top 4 drivers advance. 10 laps is a scheduled distance. No caution flags for these heat races. Top 3 guys will get paid tonight. $25 to the race winner, plus sponsor gift. 3 free beard oils. That's going to be what these guys are racing here for night number 1, as the green flag is going to win. Glenn's Mr. Ted York shoots out like a cannon. Jake Sonatag making no short work here. He's already trying to get up to that second spot. Hold on to it. He clips the right rear of the number 19 machine. Chad Cranks goes around, and Jake Sonatag still looking forward, but he's going to slow on down out of respect. He's going to pull it up into the pit, so that number 3 machine, his heat race is going to be done. He's going to have to start back in that lower part of that Constellation race just to try to qualify into a 24-car field here at tonight. Last and final transfer spot right here, the number 32 machine, and Josh get the 2 Glenn's Hot Wings making it in here. But Craig trying to catch up to his back bumper. Greg outside looking in. Needs that 32 car of Josh. He has that last and final transfer spot. But Greg definitely wants that last lap times up there on your race screen. Now the entire field is basically single filed out. No racing that we're missing. Greg, though, a 13.8 back there in P5. Josh, a 13.6 as they zoom across the start-finish line once again. And once again, Josh is going to beat that lap time just barely, though. That time, oh no! Josh up into the outside wall. And here comes Greg trying to fight in for it. Fight for that last transfer spot 2 laps ago. Three laps ago as they cross the start-finish line side by side. Once again, Josh outside. That's going to be Greg in that all-white number 35 machine, trying to look down to the inside. Tries to squeeze him up next to the outside wall. 2 laps ago this time by as they wheel and deal down in turns 1 and 2. Ted York, your race leader. Patrick second. Tim Mountain third. But we're all glued on right here for the last and final transfer spot last time. White flag into turns 1 and 2 once again. Greg gets a little loose, lose a little bit of pace, and Josh looks like he just doesn't tap the outside wall once again. He'll be coming home in that last and final transfer spot. And I have no idea what just happened to Tim Alton. Watch the number 64 car here. This is a white flag. And I don't believe Tim Alton, he was running in 3rd place. And I don't think he crossed the start-finish line. Here's the final results up there on your race screen now. And the number 64 machine, the Canadian of Tim, crashed on the white flag into turns 3 and 4. And Josh and Greg was able to skip on by. So Tim went from being locked in into turns 3 to being not locked in into the A main, coming out of turn 4. That's a tough break there. Great for heat race number 3, Phil, FSI Motorsports, Nodak Outlaw Sim League owner, the number 13 machine. He'll be there on that top spot. Connor Dewick there to the outside of him. Jeremiah Wiggled under the Double Deuce machine with Team SSR. You have Bruce Klingon there to the outside. Glenn, the number 19 car, another Glenn's Hot Wings machine. He'll be starting in P5. And Ryan, the number 77 car, rounding out that last and final spot. Only 6 cars going to start this heat race. A little bit of race info up there on your race screen now. Eldora Speedway, track length 0.44 miles. 77% humidity, though. Kind of high. We need to tone that down a little bit. City of Rosenberg, where we race here tonight. $25 to the race winner. 3 sponsored gifts. Thanks to the Smoky Mountain Beards. $15 to second place and $10 to the 3rd place finisher here tonight. First place gets to choose when they qualify during the single car qualifying tomorrow night. Single car qualifying tomorrow night. Winner here, they get to choose. They want to go first. They want to go 7th. They want to go last. Their pick. Stacked up, packed up. 6 cars out there on the raceway. We'll see who takes a checker flag this time. Phil, he's going to lead them off down into turn number 1. so good for that number 13 machine of Phil. It actually just sets the fastest lap time there on lap number 1. We'll see if he can beat it. But right now, Phil holding off the pack of hungry hounds. Connor Duick there in second. Bruce Klingen, freight train around turns 1 and 2, already dipping, diving, and down in turns 3 and 4 now. Jeremy Weigel, he holds on to that last and final tracer spot, and Ryan Washock gets up to P5, and Glenn, he's going to round out that last and final spot here on this grid. Everybody moving that right rear tire next to the outside wall. No passes here for the top 2. Bruce Klingen did start there in P4. He moved up 1 spot. Jeremy, he's going to try to fight back down to the bottom side, though. Nothing doing there for that 22 car of Mr. Weigel. So he's going to tuck right back up into the outside lane. Bruce Klingen, he's going to start doing some good old cut downs there. Track still extremely tacky. This is not what we will see in the A main here tonight. Only about a 5-minute practice session is what these 360 sprint cars got, just to kind of work off the dust. After that, they're going to leave this track all the way to lap number 35 here tonight. No track work whatsoever, but man, these 4 guys, nose to tail all the way around here. Nobody wanting to make a move quite yet. Top or 2 laps to go. That's going to be your top 4. Inside the cockpit mode of Jeremy Weigel now. As he works the outside. Remember, Bruce Klingen should be out there somewhere. White flag on a wave. Side by side for the 3rd and 4th spot. Top 2, they're going to be single file. Mr. Wiggle going to try to work that bottom side. Drag race to the start finish or to the finish line. Bruce is going to barely hold on to that 3rd place finish. Connor Duick second. Phil, he's going to lead that thing from lap 1 all the way to lap number 10. That's going to do it for your top 3 heats. Everything else should be our last and final heat race. Here for heat race number 4 here at Eldora Speedway. As these guys start slowly getting into their cars, these guys will be rolling out there onto the racetrack. And this track has already changed quite a bit here tonight. And here's going to be the starting grid for the last and final heat race number 4. Josh Berkey, Miller Time Motorsports on the number 20 machine. He'll be there in the top spot. Christian McCartney, the number 92, a Canadian driver. He'll be there to the outside. Brandon, number 25 car, HODL Racing. You have Jeff Kramer, the number 11 car. Larry Bell, then Mr. Tony, rounding out that last and final 6th place starting spot. That number 14 car, 27. Up there on his trading paints. Once again, only live on YouTube here on WhiskeyOval_TV here tonight. Most likely, fingers crossed, everything will be all ready for tomorrow night. We'll be streaming on all 3 platforms, YouTube, Facebook, might as well throw in Twitch. Total purse of this event, once I said, is $600. First place tomorrow night. If you win this whole thing, 2 nights of racing is $150 plus 3 free beard oils. $100 a P2, $60 a third. 4th is going to be $50, and the top 5, that's going to be $40. And the list goes on all the way down. Green flag going to wave, though, here for this last and final heat race. Only 1 wreck that we've seen. A little bit of a wheel tap, and that was it. Will anyone start flipping here? Josh Berkey out to a hot start. Brandon going to try to run him down. He kind of runs a slight slider line there. Side-by-side racing here for the 3rd and 4th spot. Jeff bottom side. Christian high side. There's a double 1 machine. If Jeff slide it up, yes he does. Jeff takes home that 3rd spot right now. Christian McCartney up into the outside wall. The number 92 machine was able to keep it straight, but he loses another spot to Larry Bell. So now Christian McCartney outside looking in. Larry Bell, kind of a birthday present right there with Miller Time Motorsports, as he got a little bit too loose coming out of turn 2, and now he whips that thing right down into turn number 3 and 4. Miller Time Motorsports driver Larry Bell trying to hold on. Some final transfer spot, trying to hold off Christian McCartney, but Christian looking like he has all sorts of speed in that car, got all sorts of grip. One more time, slide it on up, and Christian McCartney is going to grab that last and final transfer spot. Larry Bell, he's going to fight one more time down to the bottom side. Bell, he's going to throw a slider into the apex at turns 3 and 4, and we're swapping for this last and final spot. Larry, he's going to protect that bottom side, slider right up next to the race cushion, and Larry doing one good job. Doing everything he possibly can to hold on to that 4th spot. Checking up on board with their race leader real quick. Brandon, the number 25 machine, 22. They're on the training pains. He's going to lead this thing. Side by side for the 2nd spot now. Josh Berkey down to the bottom side. He's going to take that spot. Berkey started on pole. He's fell back 1 spot, trying to only fall back 1 spot. Jeff, he's moved up 1. He's trying to move up 2. 2 laps ago, white flag being displayed this time by. White flag is out one more time around Eldora Speedway as these guys battle it out for the 2nd and 3rd spot, but back on to this last and final transfer spot once again. Larry Bell doing a good job, protects that slider line, and he's come out at turn 4, and Larry Bell sending that thing into the A-main show, and I gotta tell you, once Christian McCartney got around him the first time, I thought he was just going to pull away from him. But Larry Bell, fighting with everything he possibly had, got into that 4th spot and did not give it up as the B main is slowly starting to roll out onto the race grid now. Also, tomorrow night, Heart Charger $10 plus a Smoky Mountain beard bundle. Thanks to those Smoky Mountain beards guys. A lot of gifts. Granted, I would not win one of them if I was racing. B-Man, we're going to take the top 8. And there's 10 drivers going to be starting this race. So all you got to do is beat 2 drivers. Doesn't sound hard. But the pressure builds, the anxiety builds, the heartbeat gets up, adrenaline starts a rushing. That's how the B main and grid is going to look. Mr. Hunger Buster, Mr. Dairy Queen of Cal, the number 58 car. He'll be starting there on pole. Tim Alton there to the outside. Glenn I'm going to call him McIntosh just because I like that driver. McTevish. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Canadian driver, Glenn's Hot Wings. Christian McCartney, he rounds out P4. Paul, not even going to try it, Paul. Glenn Hot Wings driver, he'll be starting up in P5. Chad's going to be 6th. Ryan 7th. Tony's going to be rounding out the 8th spot. Patrick Spengler and Mr. Jake. Sonatag, remember, Sonatag, he didn't race very long. Showed some quick speed. Jake is always pretty quick. In any sprint car he jumps in. Made a little bit of contact out of respect, pulled out off the raceway. He starts deep back into the race field, though. Top 8 drivers once again will be advancing. And I'm only showing 3 laps here. 3 lap shootout, top 8 guys. So who cares leads it? Let's get back to this 8th place runner right now. And one guy, Ryan Washock, he spins at the 77 car. On board with Chad Craigs, he taps the outside wall. He loses all spots though. 8th place runner is going to be Sonatag back here. White flag already out. All these guys got to do is make it to the start-finish line, and they are 3 wide down the back. Coming out of turn 4, nice and clean. You guys all make it into the Mac Daddy show here for night number 1. Checker flag waves, and there it is. Don't know if that was a mistake or not, but regardless, 3 laps. That's all these drivers got. Jake, Ryan Washock, and Tony. Tony did not make the race start. Don't know exactly what happened to the 77 car, but he will not make it into the feature race here tonight for that 35 lapper. Hey, main warm-up underway. Don't know if these drivers will take it. Usually they don't. We will have a pole shuffle here tonight, though. Top 2 guys, they'll try to battle it on out. Top 2 will run a dash to determine the first rows of this event. So that's what we're about to do. Granted, they will be their quickest lap times up there, and not really their positional order. Eldor Speedway, always a fun track with sprint cars. Dirt late models, I don't know. I don't know if I don't really get the vibe of the dirt late models. Definitely not dirt street stocks. You just bang that sucker off the outside wall and you go pretty quick. Dirt late models, they're all right. But a lot of wall banging with those things as well. Sprint cars, not so much. You can't really wall bang. You can try it. Sometimes it works, I guess. Knoxville Raceway a little bit. Breaking down the heat race results up there on your race screen now. That was heat race number 1. It goes Joe, Zach, Brandon, then Brent Hagan. That's going to be your top 4. Second heat race, this is how this all worked out. Ted York, Patrick, Josh, and Craig. Third heat race, there you go. That's how those guys finished. Phil, Connor, Bruce, then Jeremiah. Fourth heat race went Brandon, Jeff, Josh, and Larry Bell. That was your last and final heat race. We jumped straight into the B main right after that. And that's how the B main stacked up. 2 drivers did not get the, had to go home tonight. Tony finished 2 laps down and missed the action there with the 77 car of Ryan Washock. Mr. Warshock there in that 77 car. Not making the start here tonight. A main feature time at about here, 35 laps scheduled distance, and the starting grid for night number 1. Gonna look us a little something like this. Joe Howe, driver out of New Jersey. He'll be there in that top spot. Second place is going to be Ted York with Glenn's Hot Wings. Phil's going to start up in P3. Brandon, he starts up P4. Zach, 5th spot. Patrick, he rounds out that 6th spot. 4th row goes to Connor Dewick and Jeff. 5th row, give that to Brandon Garman and Josh Borgowski. Bruce 11th, Joshua Berkey 12th. 13th place on back. Here we go. 13th is going to be Brent Hagan. Jeff is 14th. Jeremiah 15th. Larry Bell. You have Kale back in 17th. Patrick Spengler. Glenn back in 19th. You have Tim Alton. Christian. Chad. Paul. And then Mr. Jake Sonentag barely squeaking in. Making it in that last and final spot in that number 3 car. 24 car field here tonight for a 30-lap main event. Stack them up, pack them up. Real quick. Smoky Mountain Beards sells a variety of American-made, all-natural beard care and men's grooming essentials. Smoky Mountain Beards is also a part of our prize pack for the Hard to Charge Award. 3 other winners get bottles of their beard oils. Fans rave about their signature set. As we get ready to rock and roll, side by side, wheel to wheel, wing to wing. They get the top rows all figured out. Get the black flags cleared. And here we go. Adrenaline's up, heartbeat's up. Everyone's nerves are up. Goosebumps on their arms. The number 11 car, Jeff. Gonna lead this field down into turn number 1 for night number 1. Top side dominant racetrack. Drift leads this field down, or leads them around Eldora. Zach bumper though, almost giving him basically a bump trap down the back chute. Third spot is going to be Joe. Fourth is going to be Brandon and Connor Dewick rounding out the top 5. 5 laps in, 30 laps to go. Outside shot of the raceway, you can see all these guys as we look on board with the top 3 drivers, nose to tail, freight training themselves around the high and scary side. The race leader Jeff up into the outside wall. He's able to keep it going straight though. Now he has to protect. Jeff tries to protect that bottom side part of the raceway. He does a pretty good job. But Zach, he wants that race lead, and he wants it now. Down to the bottom side. He could throw a slider, but I don't know if there's much get up and go, or if he's just waiting and buying his time. On down the back now, top 5, Connor Dewick. Phil rounds out that 6th spot. Brandon Garman, P7. Bruce Klingon rounding out P8. You have Joshua Berkey, Ted York running out the top 10. As everybody slips and slides and shimmies and shines around this place. 9 laps in, 35 laps is the scheduled distance. Track map up there on your race screen now. Last place. 21st place coming across the finish line into the apex of turns 1 and 2. Race leaders just now coming across the start finish line. So about half a track length is all we got left until we start hitting some lap traffic. Patrick rounds out the 12th spot. All green flags so far. Patrick Spangler back in the 13th spot as he battles it out with Jeremy Weigel. And right when I said all flags, so one guy spins it. That's going to be Phil, the number 13 machine, spinning it, making a 180 into the apex of turns 1 and 2 there. Watch number 14 car, FSI Motorsports entry. Nodak Outlaw Simile Goner. Don't do that, Phil. That's why I like the sprint cars here in Eldora. If you touch that outside wall, it's going to be a tough night for you. Hard Charger Award, though. So far, once everyone comes across the start-finish line. Hard Charger right now. It's going to be tough. They inverted the top 4 guys. But right now, Jake Sonatak plus 8 back there in the 16th spot. Hard Charger Award winner will get a huge Smoky Mountain Beards bundle. That includes 2 beard bombs, 2 beard oils, 2 solid colognes, 1 beard soap, 1 beard wash, and 1 beard comb. All for the Hard Charger. Sometimes that kind of works out in your favor. Kind of have a roller coaster night to get that package. But right now, Jake Sonatak, he is having one roller coaster night, not having a good qualifying run, did not have a good heat race. So pulled off there on lap number 2. Right now, makes it in on the very last starting grid spot. And right now, he's our hard charger. He's moved up 8, trying to move up 9 now. He does move up 9. Sonatak charging his way up to the front to try to get that Smoky Mountain Beard Oil bundle. Quick peek there to our race leader of Zach. He has it, gets around Jeff. Now here comes Joe. Joe gets down to the bottom side, and he slides it up with a race cushion, tries to bounce off of it, gets a giddy up and go. Does he hold on to P2? Jeff fights back down to the bottom side. Brandon up into the mix as well as he sits back there in the 4th spot. Connor Dewick slowly walking his way up into this battle. Outside shot now. On board, Mr. Connor Dewick. Cockpit mode. You can see the different types of lines as Joe looks down to the bomb side once again. He's going to throw the slider next to the outside wall. So the race is on, all for the second and 3rd spot now. Hard charger, Jake Sonatek, he's still back there in the 13th spot. We work laps 17 to 35. Look at this, Rasmus back here, 8th place, 9th place, and 7th place. Oh no, 39 machine. Patrick Spangler almost loses it after he made contact with Brent Hagan. Able to keep it going some way, somehow. He tries to get right back in line, right in front of the 09 machine. And he does. Patrick Spangler almost having a crazy moment there. And now look at the mess. 4 wide into turns 3 and 4. Hagan's in it. Weigel's in it. Caution flag is going to wave here on lap 20 just for the 2nd time. I was really wondering how long can they go racing like that? 4 wide deep into the middle part of the pack there. High side, 2 guys middle, 1 guy next to the outside wall, right rear tire. New race leader, though, Zach. He looked quite strong out front in that number 18 machine. 2nd caution is going to wave here. That's it. And I don't know exactly what happened. Patrick Boyce is being shown that he jumped into the pits. He's back in that 24th spot. $15 laps to go. Bruce Klingen, he's moved up 8 spots there in that number 21 machine. Smoky Mountain Beard bundle for the hard charge. We'll check up on board with that. There it is. +8, +11 for Jake Sonatek. Definitely want to see green. Don't want to see red. Ted York, unfortunately, not trying to call out Mr. Ted York there. He has a red 10. Red number 10 there for that 09 car. Outside shot of the raceway now. Back to our race leader. Pace truck's off. Green flag is going to wave. Zach's going to stand on the pedal. So far, so good. Top 5, no racing action, but here we go. 7th place on back. Has been, and right now, Jeff Kramer, he's being shown right smack dab in the middle of a 3-wide situation. He's just trying to hold on right now, right into the slick. Brandon, he's going to be your top 5. He's going to round out your top 5. Dewick, though, in that number 7 car, still trying to just walk himself into the party. Jeff Kramer, the guy that was leading at one point, right now he's being shown back to the 7th spot. Look at this mess back here still. Spangler's stuck in the middle now. Gets up and finds a gap next to the outside wall. Gets right in front of Brendan Hagan. Remember, those guys made a little bit of contact earlier into the race. Down the front chute into turns 3 and 4 now. We launch on board. Place on back as he's battling out for every spot. Every spot will count therefore tomorrow night. Make your night easier for a $150 payday plus some sponsor gifts. All right, 18 car though is Zach. Has a no problem whatsoever. Does have a lap car there to the bomb side. Gets around me with no problem whatsoever. So the battle is really on here for the 2nd place now. Joe Howe, Bruce Klingen, they battle it out. Joe has that P2. Bruce Klingen tries to get it as he rides back in the third spot. 2 caution flags is all this race has had. Zach has completely pulled away. When I say completely pulled away, I mean he has a 1 point. Go ahead and round that sucker up. A 1.5 second gap for the number 18 machine. Definitely in his own zip code with just 6 laps to go. We've just hit 11 minutes and 2 seconds here on the timetable. And the race is on as Bruce Klingen throws a slider. Side by side down the front, shooting into turns 3 and 4. Caution flag has gone away right when Joe Howe just got done completing the slide job. Don't know where iRacing will line those two up at. With just a handful of laps to go, Zach's 1.5 second gap has now advantage. And it looks like Bruce Klingen will be awarded that P2 spot. And Joe Howe, he'll be having to start into that third spot now. Caution out just for the third time here tonight. Been a lot of respectable racing. Larry Bell, he's being shown red. Larry had a pretty entertaining heat race there for that Miller Time Motorsport entry. Got the last bit of that. He kind of just flipped right on over. My apologies. On board with the hard charger once again. Things line up. Sonatag plus 15 in that number 3 car. He's up inside the top 10. Being shown there in P9. Here we go. 5 laps to go. Can Zach hold on to it, or can Bruce figure something out on this restart? The pace lights are off. Green flag coming out of turn 4 this time by night number 1 for the Kings Royal. Zach stands on the skinny pedal. Bruce, a very good job on that restart. Bruce holds with him into turns 1 and 2. Joe Howe gets way loose there in that third spot, but Klingen, does he have anything to... For the number 818 car now. On board with a third place, Joe Howe, he battles out with Brandon. Haven't talked much about Brandon, the number 25 car. But slowly making his way up. He started out in the 4th spot. He's moved up 1. Outside shot of the racetrack here as everybody shimmies and slides. Shimmies and shives, slices and dices all the way around this place. Patrick Spangler, he's moved up 12 spots. He's about to move up 13 spots as he tries to work on Connor Duick. Now, those 2 guys right there in front of him, they just made a little bit of contact. And Spangler still trying to force his way up through the race field. 2 laps to go. Bruce Klingen up onto the back bumper. White flag this time by. In the turns 1 and 2, Zach trying to hold on to it. Final time down the back chute. He's going to protect the slider line. Zach goes down to the bottom. He's going to slide it up next to the race cushion. Bruce, one last dish effort. Not going to do so. Checkered flag going to wave, and Zach's going to take home night number 1. Bruce coming home in that second spot, and Brandon coming home on that last and final podium spot there for that number 25 car. Checkered flag waves, and we had an ending there. So they do the good old-fashioned iRacing photo shoots as fireworks shoot off here. And we'll try to get an interview with the top 3 drivers. Final results up there on your race screen now. That's how it's going to look. After a 35-lap scheduled distance race, Zach, Bruce, Brandon, that's your top 3. So tomorrow night, Zach, we will have a single file qualifying session And Zach will get to determine when and where he wants to qualify. He wants to qualify up front when the track is tacky. You want to qualify 5th place when it's a little bit slick. Or heck, even qualify last. Top 3 drivers will get... I got to verify real quick. But for sure, Zach is locked in to tomorrow night. We jump into the Discord page, trying to get an interview with the top 3 guys. See how their nights went. See how this racetrack raced. But Hard Charger Award, the Smoky Mountain Beard Bundle. Moving up 16 spots, and that number 3 machine, that's Jake Sonatag. He gets a Smoky Mountain Beards gift pack, bundle, whatever you want to call it. $35 laps, 3 caution flags. That's all they got here tonight. But the guy that's going to finish in the second spot is going to be Bruce. And Bruce, man, you charged up through the field. My program shows you moved up 9. I know we've kind of shuffled up a little bit, but 9 spots, man, got all the way to the back bumper of Zach, and then 1 corner, man, you just going to fill 1 spot short.
Yeah, I blew it on that last restart. My entry into 1 on that last restart, I let him get ahead of me, and it took me too many laps to build the momentum back up. I knew when that caution came out, I was going to have a shot at him, and I needed 1 more lap to have that shot at him just because I messed up that first corner. He did exactly what he had to do in that last corner by running that slider line. I was absolutely going to beat him if I ran that deep slider, and he didn't let me do it. So that's a great win for him, though.
Kind of played out like a good old classic Eldora Speedway race. Everyone next to the outside wall. There are sometimes you guys were freight training, just 6 cars in a line up there.
Yeah, it's kind of the danger of Eldora is if you get I didn't move up in my heat race very much. I qualified well, and that put me in the back of my heat race, and I didn't move up very well. So I got kind of shuffled back into the back for the start. And the challenge here is once it gets to the top, guys can get so close time-wise that there's not any room to get by anybody. There's not any room to throw a move on anybody. Fortunately, things spread out a little bit. It let me pass some people. I got lucky with a couple of cautions, being able to pass some guys who got into that wall. But it's that normal Eldora smile, man. I wish it had some real life in it. In the real life, the bottom can be fast here, and the top gets so scary that the bottom gets fast. But here, in a simulated car where nobody's going to get hurt, nobody worries about getting scared because you're not going to hurt yourself. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, congratulations on night number 1. Night number 2 coming up tomorrow night, a little bit earlier. We'll have all that information. But hey, podium finish here for night number 1. Pretty happy with that, huh?
Absolutely happy with this. This is I've been looking forward to this event all season long. I'm good here. This is my favorite track. This is my home track. This is where I, go to watch races when I was a little kid growing up. And this one's super important to me. So hoping I can get a little better starting position tomorrow. And maybe not have to work so hard to get to the front. But
sure.
Yeah, super excited and really appreciate you, making sure you were here tonight to broadcast. Big help.
Absolutely. Well, man, congratulations once again. You got any shout you would like to give?
I tell you, my shout outs go to the people who make SSR so cool. It's the Brandon Garmans and the Cale Heibolts and the Christian McCartneys and the Jeremy Weigels and Pat Spangler and Jake Sonnentag and Greg Keppel and Kurt Ney. Those guys, I know people look at them and they're like, yeah, they're on the SSR team, but they're more than that, man. Those guys were in the ignition race today. Before this, they were helping new guys get better, and then after that, they went up and they like broke the race down with them and showed them ways they could improve and get better. And it's those guys here that make SSR just so freaking awesome. So that's my shout out. Another shout out I got a lot of friends and coworkers living a pretty bad life right now in the Ukraine, and it's been super heavy on my mind. And anything I'm doing this week, I'm dedicating it to what they're dealing with. I work with a team out of Ukraine, and it's been a difficult 3 weeks for them, and it's really hard to watch. And I want to make sure that over here in the West, we're not forgetting about what they're dealing with, because what they're dealing with is just an absolute travesty.
Absolutely. Bruce, appreciate it once again, man. And we'll try to talk to you tomorrow night.
Thanks. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
Absolutely. Bruce
See you
coming
later.
home there in that runner-up spot. I think that's going to be it for the interviews. Once again, thanks to Joey there for the producing side. Internet guy came over, can't fix the internet. How can you be an internet guy but then can't fix the internet? We'll get everything lined up for tomorrow. But Joey, thanks once again. Last minute deal. We got this thing set up. I know I did not want to miss this. Hopefully the stream looked pretty good on everyone else's sides. That's it. Night number 1 is over. Night number 2 comes up tomorrow night. Going to be a little bit of a time change. Let me verify before I say it, because I know once I say it, it gets stuck in people's heads. I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern, but I still haven't verified, but I still said it. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central Time. We'll be back live here on WhiskeyVille_TV on hopefully Facebook, YouTube, and might as well throw on Twitch as well. Now live on Twitch. So that's it. Night number 1 in the books. Final results up there on your screen one more time. Hard charger for the beer. Thanks to those sponsors. That goes to Jake Sonatag there in the 8th spot. It might be. Let me pull these guys down. So we pull on Brandon, the guy that finishes there in the 3rd spot. Brandon, I couldn't find you, man.
I'm here, buddy.
He's here now, though. 3rd place finisher, Brandon, and they're in the number 25 car. Brandon, gotta ask you, man. To me, it kind of looked like you kind of had a quiet night out there, man. Wasn't in too much trouble. Didn't see you there in the 3 wide situations much, but man, you did what you have to do, and you came home on a podium finish.
Yeah, it was a good race, man. Track definitely slicked up at the end, made for some good racing. It was fun battling with Garmin and stuff, and it's nice to see a teammate get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got yourself set up pretty well for tomorrow night. How important is night number 1 for you?
Oh, it's very important. You get to feel everybody out, see how everybody's running, and more laps on the track you can't go wrong with that.
You think there'll be any changes from tonight to tomorrow night, or you think the race will play out just like that?
It's hard to say. It depends on the track state, man. If it slicks up like that, it's anybody's game.
Well, man, we'll watch you tomorrow. You got any shout-outs that you like to give?
Yeah, my teammate Zach at Hodel Racing, ABR Setup Shop, and JS Sim Sports.
Very cool. Brandon, congratulations on a podium finish here tonight, man.
Thank you, buddy.
We will see you in night number 2. Brandon coming home there in that 3rd spot, the last step of the podium. But the guy that's going to come home in that top spot, teammates with the 3rd place finisher of Brandon, that's going to be Zach. And Zach, dude, had a 1.5 a second lead, and then the flag waved, and then you lost all that.
Yeah, I got nervous there. I was able to get out front early, get past Kramer there. Smooth sailing pretty much, and then there at the end, Bruce was coming. I heard him a couple times. I knew I had to throw that slider going into 3 and 4 there to seal the deal.
Top side dominant all the way around this racetrack. I don't think I seen you down on the bottom side besides just those last couple laps just to protect the slider.
Yeah, no, top's fast here. I put in a lot of laps here. It's one of my favorite tracks, so it definitely paid off tonight.
Any setup changes that you're going to make for tomorrow night?
No, I think we're going to roll with what we got. ABR puts out some fast setup, so it showed tonight.
Well, Zach, congratulations here for the checker flag for night number 1, man. You got yourself locked in too tomorrow night. You got any shout outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, just like to shout out ABR Setup Shop, Bancor Network, JS Sim Shots, everybody at SSR who contributes to putting these races on, and you at Whiskey Oval.
Very cool, man. We'll watch it tomorrow night. Battle it out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Zach coming home there in that top spot once again. Congratulations to those three guys. Thank you all for tuning in here at Whiskey_TV here on Facebook. Thanks for the likes and shares and the comments. Much appreciated. Until tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, we will be back live. Hopefully everything will be back to normal. Until next time, everyone take care, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night for night number 2.